Okay, great. So for your notes that I have here,
Uh-huh.
we're feeling like our upper chakras might be blocked.
Yeah.
Okay. We're wanting to get into mediumship, healing, channeling, but we feel that maybe trauma wounds or aphantasia are creating some impediments. Is that right?
Yes. And I
Okay.
just I want to take the pain, and because I was an unhealed empath and I'm moving towards the empowered empath.
Love.
So I want to show that to other people, is like you can take your pain and turn it into power and use it like magic and shine your light. So I'm
Absolutely.
so excited.
Yes. Okay. Do you think that you are not doing that now?
I think I just started like feeling like, okay, I think I am doing this. But before, no, I did not know that I was doing anything like just talking to people, like doing through words. But now I feel like I am doing that a little bit more, and people are starting to see my light a little bit more.
Yes. Sometimes we do not see ourselves how other people see us.
Yes.
And before you and I hit record here, I told you, like, hey, you have some really potent, powerful, happy, wee, like
Yes.
fairy type energy. Okay. So that is representative of somebody who has done a lot of trauma healing to be able
I
to
feel
hold that really high frequency and that vibration. And are we like that all the time? No, because you know,
no.
earth be earthen. Um,
Yes. Yes.
as a general viewscape of your auric field, even when I was
Hmm.
going in to get these notes from your higher self, I
Hmm.
didn't see anything trauma blockage that was like wild. It's, you know, we've
Good.
done a lot of work and we radiate very brightly. So
Good.
part of the reason that you might be feeling blocked is because you're not
Mhm.
seeing yourself.
Yes, that's what it is. It feels like,
Yes.
am I doing it? Like, give me the validation that you're getting it, you know, like that believing in myself that it's actually radiating out of me. Yes.
Who are you seeking that validation from?
I guess the people that I'm giving it to, but I know that I don't have to have theirs. I can just get it from myself. And that's what I've been learning, is like I was seeking a lot of validation from other people to make me feel like I was special. But now I'm like, I don't need their validation to make me feel special.
Yes.
And that's what I've literally turned this around maybe in the last 3 months. So I've done a lot of internal work trying to be like, okay, I'm my own powerhouse, you know, like I don't need anybody to validate me. And I feel like that has been really beautiful.
Absolutely. Why are we not seeing ourselves as this radiant, bubbly, cheerful, like so full of like love and compassion and empathy and like just exude? Because honestly, you have a very rainbow type of aura where it's just, I know people really enjoy being in your energy field because they just feel more like themselves. Because you probably
Yes.
attract people now that are a lot different from the people you attracted in the
Yes.
past. Okay. And part of that is because you just envelop people in this safe, secure bubble around you of like, I'm not judging you. I love
Right.
you. I just want you to feel special and magical and be yourself.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Those are gifts. Those
Are
are,
they?
yes. Those are beautiful gifts. Sometimes when we are thinking about modalities, we're thinking about the
Right.
Akashic records and Reiki and astrology and
Yes.
all these different things. Those are great. We love those.
Yes.
However, there are foundational brick gifts that a lot of people overlook and don't see as important when they're actually sometimes more important than those metaphysical ones
Right.
that we are pining for. Okay. It is
Yes.
very difficult to access your multidimensionality, not just you,
Hmm.
other people, if you don't feel
Right.
safe and secure. If you feel like
Yes.
people constantly perceiving and judging you and making you feel all frizzle frazzly and anxious and you feel like you don't fit in, that's where
Yes.
people like you come in and you say, hey, chill. I see you. I love you.
Yes. And
I'm not
that's how
judging
I
you.
feel. I
I
really do
know.
feel. I'm like, I can see the power and the magic inside of you, and
Mhm.
I want to pull it out, you know?
Well, a lot of people are walking around that have never experienced someone like that before that actually sees them underneath all the filter lenses and the distortions and the trauma and the programming and all these things. You're like, no, I can see you, babe. Okay. And I want the very best for you. And I want you to experience sovereignty and feeling very empowered. Those are your spiritual gifts that you already have at play. You have already accessed those, okay, because of the trauma work that you have done. But your higher self is saying, we are not appreciating the gifts that we already hold because we are out here thinking like everybody's like this.
Right.
They can
I don't
be
know
like
that
that.
I'm different.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know that I'm different. People don't walk around like me. What?
They do not. And that's not a judgmental thing. It's many different reasons.
Right.
But people are not accessing those levels right now.
Yes.
And most of the time it's not their fault.
Yes.
You are a leading example of, hey, this is what you can be experiencing. Let me give you some tools and resources to help you along on that journey. But if you're not recognizing your gifts, you are really doing a disservice to yourself and other people. You are not able to showcase your talents at their full totality if you're like, it's just whatever. It's not a big deal.
I think it's happening.
Right. And your higher self's like, girl, you put in all this work
to not even give yourself the validation. Yeah.
It's okay to recognize you are an incredibly powerful healer. You have a lot of medicine to offer other people just by simply existing. This is before we even get into modalities or all the things you want to be able to do. Those things are even more difficult sometimes for our human psyche to understand because there's so much intangibility to it. Your gifts are very tangible right now, and we're already not believing in those. So it's a long jump over here.
If I don't start here,
right? Astral and etheric work, if we're not honoring that we are already an energy healer with very powerful abilities. Okay, so what comes up when I say that?
That I am, and I believe that, but I don't give myself that credit. But it's like when you said that, it was like, yes, you. I'm talking to you.
Yes.
So
okay. Yes. Do you mind if I go turn my air conditioner down really quick?
No, do whatever you need.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Thank you. Sometimes when I'm channeling, I get really hot and I forgot to turn it down.
Yes.
Okay.
You're good.
So what exactly is it that we are wanting to do past the skills and abilities that we have right now as an empowered empath and somebody who is lighting people's days and life up? Okay, what do we want to do outside of that?
Yes, I want to be like you. I want to do the quantum, like I want to get past like the 3D stuff and go into the higher and pull that down. So essentially what you're doing and how you started out doing the 3D and the mental stuff and then just keep going up the ladder.
Great. Okay. Is there something specifically that you want to be able to do? And maybe we don't know what that is yet, but okay, let's take what I do, for example. What are the facets of the things that I am doing that you want to be able to do?
Just bridge like the lower to the higher and just empower people to find their own magic. Like when people are in pain, pull them out of the pain and let them see their power and then them turn into their magical self. Essentially, like what I'm doing is going through the process and just helping other people get through the process of it and just feel happy. Like I am so much happier. I'm the happiest I've ever been. I've never been this happy in my life. And it's just like, I want to share that with the world. I want to do healing. I started doing Reiki. I haven't got my certificate yet. I'm in the practicing mode. So I want to do, healing on people. I want to help them I want to do mediumship. I want to help bring loved ones, peace and happiness. Any way that I can help open someone's heart, I'm just happy about.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's talk about what you want to be helping people through with their trauma wounds, because that is
Okay.
a really big umbrella. And
Yeah.
typically, when energy healers are going the route that you are of like, hey, let me help
Hmm.
you with your human so you can connect to your multidimensional
Hmm.
facets over here, oftentimes you will help other people with things that you have also experienced. So, like for me, I dealt with a lot of anxiety and depression and masking and people pleasing and imposter
Yes.
syndrome and inner child trauma.
The yes, the childhood, the rough childhood masking. I'm on the spectrum. Just showing that people that can be themselves, even though that might trigger somebody else. Just showing that they can be authentic.
Do you have a desire to get into inner child healing?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's the root of most everything anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Not everybody necessarily needs to be an inner child healer because there's different
Hmm.
chapters that you can hop into people's lives. Sometimes they're not ready
Hmm.
to get into that yet and they got a lot of stuff going on with 3D currently. For
Hmm.
me, I'm like, let's just go on in there. Okay. I love
Yes.
working with people's inner children.
Yes.
Okay. And if that's what you want to do,
Hmm.
where are we heading in those directions right now about getting into inner child healing? What have we done thus far?
So I try to do I've done past life regressions, trying to pull out trauma. I've done meditations. I do the grounding work. I try to be positive in my mindsets. Like if something is coming up or I get triggered by somebody, I'm like, okay, where did that hurt come in my body and how do I feel it? I've gone to therapy. Um, I've tried to be doing some things.
No, that's great. It sounds like you're very proactive. Okay.
Yes.
So, are you doing practice sessions with anybody right now?
No. So I haven't done practice anything metaphysical, anything childhood. The only thing that I just started doing Reiki on practice because I haven't got my certificate yet. So I've done uh 2 distant animal sessions, and I did my first actual Reiki on somebody yesterday.
Oh, great. How did that go?
It went well. I really enjoyed it. I love it. I love it.
Congratulations. That's great.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of Reiki are you getting certified in?
So it was the Usui, but I do want to maybe do the Holy Fire or Kundalini like later on or something.
Yes, I got certified in Kundalini Reiki. It's great. Do recommend.
Good. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
So, in order to really be able to help people with their inner children release these energetic
Hmm.
words that are kind of binding them to their trauma, we need to have a really good understanding of how trauma wounds affect us. This is kind of going through a psychology lens.
Hmm.
We need to do as a teacher, as a guide, okay, because
Hmm.
you've already been the student, you've been working on yourself.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
we need to figure out what exact wounds that we want to help people unbind themselves from and do some
Hmm.
deep dives on this is how this affects people. So, imposter syndrome,
Right.
people pleasing, masking, being a disempowered empath, how gaslighting, how manipulation, how narcissist, all of those different things, because those are usually the impediments that are in people's fields that are blocking them from accessing their gifts and their sovereignty.
Yes.
Okay. So, what would that look like for you in order to figure those things out?
Sit and listen with people and try to talk about their childhood, or I don't know. I guess try to get people to open up if they can. I'm not really sure.
There's also this beautiful thing called YouTube University.
Okay.
It's just YouTube. I just
Uh-huh.
call it okay. But
Because
you
it
can go
is.
on
You learn a lot.
yeah. But you can go on there and
Uh-huh.
find just hundreds of videos
Okay.
about all of these different things. And you can even go in there and type in imposter syndrome, spirituality, and listen to people
Okay.
talk about it through a spiritual lens.
Okay.
This is going to take some grunt work,
Mm-hmm.
okay, of
Okay.
adding to our toolkit in order to be able to better read persons when we are speaking to them.
Right.
Okay. What questions do you have about that?
No, I don't really have any questions, but yeah, the people pleasing, I definitely see that, and not just not living authentically, living from those wounds. So
So
I'll
that's where
definitely look into those.
if we want to figure out how to help people express
Mhm.
themselves authentically, then we need to deduce what are the trauma wounds that are preventing them from getting there. And then those are the ones that we need to focus on having a good understanding of, which watching videos is great, but also having conversations with people, with the
Yes.
right people
Yes.
that are going to take your advice. And it's
Right.
equal energy exchange, not people that are trauma dumping on you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So that is going to help you with more of the humanesque side of
Okay.
helping people. Okay.
Okay.
And I think that's great that you want to go into inner child healing because that is a much faster way to get to. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
How are you doing with your inner children?
I feel like I'm doing pretty good. So we went to therapy and they do the IFS training. And
Mm-hmm.
so you befriend your little child. And so I've been doing that, trying to since 22. And I feel like really this year it's really picked up. Like I feel like I can talk to my inner child, like when I'm upset or something, and kind of guide her, calm her down, and then I ease up. And then there's even this part of me now that I'm trying to let my higher self talk to the current me, and
Mm-hmm.
that's new and helping me in this version. So I feel like I've done really good, but I don't know. I feel like I can see when she's starting to get upset or whatever, and I can pause and try to talk to her. So I feel like I've been doing good.
That's great. Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to give you a sneak preview of something that you'll be able to do later on as well. So you're the higher self to your inner children.
Okay.
And you have a higher self that's talking to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
What I think would be a good exercise for you to do is go in meditation and who is Courtney a year from now? Okay. She's
Mm-hmm.
deeper into her spiritual awakening journey. This is what's going on with her finances and
Mm-hmm.
her relationships and, all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
Go in meditation and we're going to switch into being the higher self to talk back to you in the present.
Okay.
Okay, this is something I do all the time and it has helped me shift into my higher self at an accelerated pace because now I'm embodying her energetics and I
Mm-hmm.
am already that version and I'm giving myself in the present advice about how I got here.
Wow.
I have to switch up into that
Mm-hmm.
consciousness in order to get the
Yes.
information that I need currently. So I'll be like, girl, tell me what's
Yeah.
going on. Why are you so upset? Why are you stressed? Why are you anxious? Dump it all out. And then that version of me just starts blah, 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 blah. And then I come in, I'm like,
Yes.
hey, breathe.
Okay.
All
Yep.
we need to do. Hey, just focus on this today. Okay.
Yes.
That's the next level.
Okay.
Okay. Just like you would be talking to your inner children when you switch gears
Mm-hmm.
up here, talk back to
Mm-hmm.
yourself in the same way.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions about that?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, great. That's going to be easy for you to do. Okay.
Yes.
So tell me about the aphantasia.
Uh, I can't. I mean, it's dark when I close my eyes. I did reach out to you in one of your videos, and you told me to do the childhood meditations to help with my imagination and stuff. But it's just dark. And the last time I had a past life regression, I think I finally had a little peek through moment,
Mhm.
and it was amazing. And I was telling myself as I was having the experience, I was like, don't stop, don't
Okay.
stop, like keep it going. Because I knew it was gonna go away. It's like, no. But yeah, I guess I have claircognizance and clairsentience, and that one just, it's dark. I don't know. I'm trying to open it. I'm trying to get my throat and this one really going.
So one, we need to not say that we have aphantasia.
We do not have aphantasia. I have a beautiful imagination.
Okay, we are working on our clarity of sight, okay, because that's a narrative that we run that ends up
Yes.
boxing us in. Okay, so
Yes.
yes, I am working on
Yes.
seeing clearly. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I know.
So also, are you watching videos about being blocked?
Not necessarily, no. If anything, I'm just trying to see like what opens it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your higher self wanted me to mention to you that sometimes, and I did this in the beginning of trying to figure out why I was blocked. It's less with me, finances. I was really blocked with my finances, so I kept on watching videos about money blocks, which was further solidifying
What was going on?
blocks in my field. Okay, it was running that narrative of like, oh yeah, of course I have blocks because I'm watching all these videos. Okay, so we need to be watching energy healers and spiritual coaches and all these different persons who are talking through a positive empowerment lens instead of like, hey, here's all the things that are wrong with you.
Right.
Okay.
And believing those are wrong with you. Yes.
Right. Okay. So we're going to talk about what I found in your energy fields. Okay. Yay. And how to clear up our channels a little bit here.
Thank you.
So when I went to your field, and also before I get into that, I don't necessarily see images in the same way that other clairvoyants do. I feel images instead, which, to be honest with you, is one of your most prominent gifts as well, is clairsentience and being able to feel images. And that's very disconcerting because there's not really a whole lot of information out there about that. So there's not any like guide work or guide books or frameworks for that. So it's something that has to be felt at an individual level and worked through. Okay.
Right.
But sometimes it's okay to give yourself permission of like, okay, my gifts just work a little bit different and I'll figure them out.
Yes.
Okay. What comes up when I say that feeling images might be the avenue for you as well?
It makes me feel that it's not a shock. I've heard that before, that maybe I might not see the same way others do. So I wouldn't say it's a shock to my system, but it's just like, oh, okay, we're just going to do things differently this time. I might have been able to see really good before, and I was like, oh no, let's try something different this time or something.
Being clairsentient as your most prominent gift and claircognizant makes you a really good frequency finder within other people because you are able to determine things at depths that sometimes other psychic abilities do not allow you to. And so it is really embracing the way that you read and that you function. And then that's when everything really starts to open and blossom.
Wow.
I've stopped saying there's something wrong with me to, you know what, maybe this is going to be my greatest superpower.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's what I try to do with my ADHD too. I'm like, no, we're not going to limit this.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to say something to you. Okay. And this is not coming from an egotistical place or levels above. I am able to read people's Akashic records at incredible depth levels that I have not been able to see from a lot of other people, but that's also because clairsentience is my main ability.
Ooh.
Okay.
Awesome.
So I want to say that to you as hope of like, hey, maybe this is going to serve me really well.
Yes.
Yes.
That's amazing. Yay.
Yes. And I don't see images like other people do. So that's not something that is going to stop you, is why I am expressing that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. We just see them differently. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we can just be as powerful, just in a different way.
Absolutely. Yeah, just different flavor of magic this go around. Okay, and you'll probably end up teaching other people how to be clairsentient healers.
Wow.
There needs to be more of us because there's not a lot of information.
Right, there's not. And that's why I was like, oh, I need to have people tell me what is going on so I know, because everybody just talks about, oh, can you see or can you not see? And then it's like, no, there's more to it.
I am going to
Yes.
send you a bunch of videos on being
Okay.
clairsentient, and that will help you. It'll help you feel more
Awesome.
confident, and it'll will help you feel like, okay, it's okay that I have
Yes.
this, and now I have some guidance on how to utilize it and develop
Yes.
it. Great. Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Absolutely. So when I went into your field, I
Mm-hmm.
asked your energy body, your astral body, where did she want to meet?
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me and she said, "Can we go to a zoo?" And I said, "I'm not super big on zoos because I want you to experience these animals being a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
free to move about." And
Uh-huh.
she said, "Okay, that sounds nice." And she said, "Is there anywhere you can take me that has mythological creatures?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So
Mm-hmm.
we went to this park together and we
Mm-hmm.
were sitting on the bench and speaking. And she said, "Can we actually get up and walk around?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So we're walking around looking at all these creatures, and she was super happy
Mm-hmm.
about that. And I said, "Okay, can you tell me what's going on with her spiritual gifts or why we're feeling
Mm-hmm.
blocked?" And she was having kind of a hard time communicating what was going on. And I said, "Okay, well, we don't have to do that with words. You can actually show me through your emotions or through your memories as well." And she said, "Oh, I know how to do that." And she grabbed my hand and we were like holding
Mm-hmm.
hands and walking together. So
Oh,
that told me that you also have the gift of clairtangency. Okay, so
that I
clairtangency
can feel.
is feeling with your hands, or just it
Okay.
doesn't always necessarily have to be your hands. It can be just with your physical
Mm-hmm.
body, right? Clairtangency, once you get a little bit further developed into that, you don't always
Mm-hmm.
have to use your physical hands. You can also be in the etheric astral fields and putting your hands on things, and
Okay.
that is a etheric version of clairtangency. So I
Wow.
want you to bear
Cool.
that in mind because that's going to come up later when you're helping people. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm going to send you
Cool.
some videos on clairtangency as well.
Awesome.
Okay. Did you have inclinations that you had clairtangency already?
A little bit. I
Okay.
just
Because when I
had,
said that, you're
I
like,
just felt like
ah.
yeah, I was like, I feel like I have power in my hands. I definitely feel like if I touch things, uh, my signature's going on it or something. I don't know. I just felt that way.
You have very activated chakras in your hands. Like everybody has
Mm-hmm.
chakras in their hands, but yours are super activated because you have clairtangency. So you'd be really good at Reiki,
Yeah.
light language, anything that you want to do with your hands. Okay. However, clairtangency, like I was saying before, sometimes when you are getting a little bit too specific with a gift of like, oh, it's only with
Mm-hmm.
my hands, actually, you can
Mm-hmm.
use your entire body to
Wow.
project
Okay.
energy towards somebody.
Yeah.
It can be your eyes, it can
Yeah.
be your mouth and the way that you're speaking,
Yeah.
it can be the whole encompassing you. So don't limit yourself to just hands. Okay.
Okay.
Questions about that?
No, that's awesome.
Yes. Okay. So I told her I'm going to go deeper into your field, but you and I can stay here on this plane and walk around
Okay.
and look at the animals. And she was like, "Great." And so I jumped into her field a little bit deeper, and I saw a hummingbird that was flying around everywhere. And what came to mind was small but mighty. And that's representative of the gifts that you already have. And your higher
That's
self is
making
like,
me
"Hey, we're
cry.
very potent and powerful." But we're not seeing that. Okay. And your little wings are creating big frequency shifts of the people around you and in the collective. But it's okay to be like this little hummingbird. Doesn't mean you're any less powerful. I think sometimes when you are looking at, let's say, different goddesses, okay, and we're looking at like Kali. Do you know who that is? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
she's like this really like omnipotent, like huge. She's some people call her the goddess of death, but it's more like rebirth,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Uh-huh.
she just has this really strong presence. Okay, your higher self is
Yes.
like this little hummingbird that's just going around and giving everybody positivity and joy and happiness, and like it's you are a goddess in your own right, being that person. That doesn't make you any less than this other type of energy, which you
Right.
can learn to be that too, but we
Right.
need to accept like, hey, I'm powerful in my own right in the things that I'm doing now.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
So the hummingbird started flying and I was like, "Oh, do you want me to follow you?" And she was like, "Yes." And so Oh wait, your higher self wanted me to ask you, what are you able to do now with your gifts, talents, and abilities that you were not able to in the past? So think about years ago. How has your magic developed thus far?
Oh, insane. I mean, like, I felt like I had no power before. I felt like I had all my power was taken from me. And now I feel like I have power. I mean, it's literally been the last really two, I've, it's been since 21, but the last 2 years has really been a huge change for me. So I literally went from feeling like I had no power to power. Like, I feel like I have so much power inside of me, I could just raw, like,
Yeah.
before, like, I never, like, if I had that power, it was the wrong energy. It's like now I feel like I feel strong and powerful that I've never felt before.
You have so much power that now you're like, oh, I want to give this to others. Like
Yes,
it's
I want to share it.
overpouring. Yeah. We get to this point as energy healers where there's so much within us and it makes us like this. And
Yes,
it's like, I have to share this with someone or I'm
that's
going
what
to
I feel like.
explode.
It's just like beaming out of me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're hearing the call of it's time. We need to be sharing our medicine with others. We have an excess of it now. We need to get it out.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So as this hummingbird was flying, I was trying to run
Mhm,
after it and I couldn't run
mhm.
fast enough. And I was like, like trying to breathe, which is funny because I was like in the ethers. It's not like I'm actually
Yeah.
breathing. And I was like, okay, hold on. And I turned into a bird myself, like this big kind of like
Uh-huh.
albatross. And I was
Uh-huh.
flying next to you and you like
Uh-huh.
winked at me
Uh-huh.
as you were trying to get me to turn into a bird with you.
Oh.
And so we were flying and then we came up to this cliff
Uh-huh.
and both of us turned into a more humanoid form.
Mhm.
However,
Mhm.
we were kind of humans, but kind of birds,
Mhm.
kind of this mix in between. And she showed
Uh-huh.
me, she said, look down there. And it was a haven of all
Uh-huh.
of the bird humanoid beings. Okay. So this is actually a
Wow.
different incarnation of yours,
Oh, wow.
one of the places and
Cool.
spaces that you were from. Okay.
Wow.
Just one of the incarnations. Okay.
Yes.
So she called it the haven. And when
Behave.
we went down there, she asked me to come and sit in this like circle around this fire. And then this other being came forward and he said, we need you to give this to her. And I said, what is it? And it was a book, like this kind of like leather
Mhm.
bound book.
Mhm.
And I said, well, what's in here? He said, look in there. So I
Mhm.
opened it. I'm looking at the pages and all of the pages are blank. And I said, I
Mhm.
can't see anything. And he said, because you're not supposed to see, you're supposed to feel. So double confirmation about your gifts.
Can't see it.
I
Gotta
said, oh,
feel
you
it.
got me there, sir. Okay. So,
Yep.
so I closed my eyes.
Uh-huh.
And okay, one of the things that your higher self wanted to bring up is because your gifts are really showcased with your emotions and other people's emotions. That's how you move energy within yourself and other people. We have got to be better about our central nervous system.
Yes.
We have got to work on grounding and being
Mhm.
inside of our body. You have a lot of anxious energy in your
Mhm.
system, but that's also just because you're like a flitty
Yes.
hummingbird. Okay. But you also get overstimulated really easily.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Okay.
yes.
And the thoughts are thoughting. Okay. Just
Mhm.
like there's just so much of this, right? So what's going on with the lack thereof with the grounding in our central nervous system?
That was a bee just flew right by me. So I think it's the pots. I don't know. Other mediums have told me they're like, yeah, you have a lot of anxiety, and I'm coursing through your body, and like you don't really have much pain. And I was like, well, I have the pots, and they're like, oh, that's what it is. So something with my energetics in my system or whatever causes my central nervous system. Like I have presyncope, like I can pass out. I mean, so someone said that it was energetic and I can work getting that POTS out of my system, but I
You
don't know.
can.
I don't, can you tell me what you see? I don't know.
I think the POTS is a
Mm-hmm.
physical manifestation of a underlying energetic, not wound necessarily, but okay. You are not really from here. Okay. You're
Right.
alien, you multidimensional being, you're a lot more tapped in than you're consciously aware of. So you
Yes.
have more energy in your body than most people. Okay.
Right.
So it's manifesting as my body is out of sync with my energy and the way that I'm working
Yes.
and my neurodivergency, and everything's just
Yes.
kind of like this tornado inside of us. Okay.
That's what it feels like. Yes.
Yes. Okay. And now that you have gotten to this calling of the energy healer, it's like I'm busting out of the seams.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. We have to ground our central nervous system and learn how to be more stable within ourselves so that we do not feel and experience POTS or overstimulation or all these different things. Okay. And as
Right.
energy healers, it takes even more grounding because you're asking universe and source and Gaia to give you even more energy than
That
you
I can't
have too much
handle.
in your body. Okay. And when I'm talking to clients, okay, or just regular people in conversations, then I'm taking even more energy on because it's already my energy in my body. And now I'm having to take your energy and siphon that through myself so I can see what's going on with you. We need to
Yes.
learn how to chill.
Yes. How do
Okay.
I do that?
Okay. We really need to focus on learning how our central nervous system affects us, like just for your own self, but so that you can help other people too, because the work that you're going to be doing with inner child healing, that's very triggering. Okay.
Yes.
It brings up a lot of emotions with people. You're going to have to not only take care of your central nervous system, but other people's central nervous systems and help keep them
Yes.
grounded. Do you notice how there's times when you and I are talking and I'm like slowing down my languaging and
Yes.
making you think about things because your natural
Mhm.
inclination is
Fast. Air.
okay. Yes.
Yes.
And I'm like, hey, we need to breathe so that we can
Yes.
interpret this information and integrate this information. We can't be going a million miles an hour all the time.
Yes.
Okay. Our
Yes.
neurodivergency makes us want to do that though.
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
Yes. So I'm going to send you some resources on central nervous system through a spiritual
Perfect.
lens. Okay.
Yes.
There's also a woman called the Workout Witch, and she has some
Okay.
really affordable courses on central
Okay.
nervous system, and you can just do a deep dive on her page. But
Okay.
you really, really need to focus on that.
Okay.
It
Yes.
is going to help you
I'm with
navigate
you.
reality in a completely different way. You're going to feel more sovereign and centered and safe
Yes.
and secure. And the thoughts are going to slow down.
Yes.
Okay. And we can actually bring things into fruition. Because right now you're probably like all these ideas, hop, skip, and
All
nothing's
the
going to be done.
right.
Okay.
I'm too scattered.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to send you some things on that, but you need to do
Perfect.
your own
Thank you.
research.
Okay.
Okay. So emotional processing, how are we doing with that?
Much better. Like I said, like when something does come up that's triggered, I go internally. I don't try to blame the other person or, I try to take accountability, and it almost just like stops me. I'm like, okay, why am I feeling like they're, you know, judging me or whatever? So I feel like, yes, I'm feeling much better in my emotional responses than before.
Are you actualizing feeling your feelings, or are you feeling them in your body? Are you thinking about them or are you feeling them?
I am So like when a heavy emotion comes up, I know that I'm definitely feeling that. And then like what I'll do is I'll imagine like a golden shower, like helping like soothe it down. I don't know. I just imagine like a waterfall, just trying to calm, like hot boiling water, how you can't see the clarity. I'm trying to cool the water essentially.
Yes. Are we allowing our body to feel the feeling? Or are we trying to bypass over it and process it through without feeling
No,
it?
I do let myself feel it. I
Good.
do let myself feel it. Yes. To
Good.
be like, okay, why am I having this? It's not pointless. It's coming up for a
Yeah,
reason.
it's okay to feel
Yes.
this. Let's
Yes.
honor our feelings.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
The
I don't
deep
just try to immediately push it away, but if it's like cycling and I'm like, okay, this is a lot. Okay. You know.
Yeah, sometimes we have to do it in stages.
Yes.
Like, let me feel some of that 10 minutes right now and I'll do some more later.
Yes.
Okay. So the
Yes.
deeper relationship that you can build with your emotions and really start to see
Mhm.
them, as their own consciousness and they're trying to speak to you. And sometimes
Mhm.
it's beneficial and sometimes they're being irrational. But that's okay. We're still going to honor how we feel. The
Yes.
more potent your medicine and magic is going to be for yourself and other people because your main gift is feeling and emotions. Like that is where a lot of our medicine lies within.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Do you mind if I run to the restroom really quick? I'm so sorry.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is me listening to my body's needs though. Okay.
Yes.
Just
Of
like you need
course.
to listen to your body's needs too. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
So after I got done talking to your higher self about those things,
Yes.
let's see. Okay. So the Birdman I was
Yes.
speaking to in this haven, okay, he said
Yes.
she needs to reawaken her adventure spirit. Okay, adventurer. You have
Mhm.
a storyteller archetype. So the reason that you are drawn to me and the things that I do,
Mhm.
the reason you want to do those things is because you have similar gifts of taking people on these type of, you can call them shamanic journeys if you want. Mine are a little bit different. It's more,
Yeah.
taking people on this whole entire experience of like, hey, this is what's going on with your human. Now let's go into this
Yes.
multidimensional stuff and let me tell you about all these different incarnations and inner child. It really paints this like picture for people because our
Right.
human psyche does really well with narratives and symbolism and mythos and things because it's tangible and something that we can grab onto and compare and contrast. And it just
Mhm.
really helps people feel into the experience of these different incarnations and their inner children of like, oh, wait, this really feels in resonance in my body. Like I can feel that that is
Yes.
my truth. Okay. So that is part of your
Yes.
gift as well is let me take you on this whole journey.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What comes up when I say that?
Good. Yeah, I feel like I have a story to tell, but getting it out, like I'm like working on that.
Yes. A lot of the content that I make when it's not about clients is about things that are
Mhm.
going on in my personal journey. And it takes a lot of
Yes.
vulnerability and authenticity, and it takes baby steps. And you don't
Yes.
have to share every single facet of your life.
Right.
We can work our way up to those things. Okay. But it is
Yes.
very cathartic and it does help you heal. If you look at it through the lens of, I'm going to make this video or this content or share this experience so that I can hear myself back and heal my past versions and the version I am today. And if
Mhm.
people come along on the journey, great.
Yes.
But this is a form of healing for myself. This is a form of therapy that kind of takes the pressure a little bit off of the perceivability of
Yes.
others looking at you. Okay.
Right.
Okay. What comes up when I say that?
Good. That's good. Yeah, because I know that I'm going to be perceived some way or another, it's like, but that's still my truth, like it's my experience. Just because they didn't have that experience doesn't change my experience on how I felt too.
There's going to become a time where you want to be perceived too.
Yes.
You want to be an energy healer, you want to be a coach, you want to do all these
Mhm.
things. Like
Mhm.
we want people to perceive us.
Yes.
Okay. That's part of the package deal. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I mean perceived in the way of like I think they're judging me, or like just like I don't really care what they're perceiving. I'm giving my magic and they're going to take it how they receive it instead
Something,
of holding it on me.
oh yeah. Something
Mhm.
that I wish that I knew earlier in my journey is there for every 1,000 people, there's one person
Mhm.
says something negative, it's all people
Right.
that are positive and super supportive and happy that
Yes.
I'm showing up every day, right? It's this story
Yes,
we make up in our
exactly.
head about things that are going to happen, but
Yes.
you got to push through that and say, I'm going to do it anyway, so I can prove to
Yes.
myself that's not correct. What has
Right.
happened
And
is, go ahead.
I've had things that I think would happen and then they don't happen. And it was like, see, you thought you had control over that, and that's not the way it planned out. And so it's just like taking my outcome or what I'm wanting to and just like letting it flow, not having or surrendering, you know.
What has happened in your past is you have been ostracized for being different,
Yes.
but that is actually going to be your greatest gift with your magical people in your community. Like that's going to be the thing that they love most about you, and they're going to celebrate you and honor you and respect you and want to be in your energy field, and it's a blessing for them for you to be you. We have to remind our inner children the reality that we are headed in is going to look nothing like what has happened in the previous chapters. And they have to trust you to get them there. And sometimes that's making some content talking about ourselves. Okay.
Yep.
And then allow people to hype us up and support us and show us, like, oh no, we're in the new reality. Yes, we're with our people now. Okay. All right. So some of the things that we can do to amplify this gift that we hold within ourselves and this archetype, inner child guided meditations, like we talked about before, not for the same reasons that you probably have been doing them previously, of like, I'm trying to see.
Right. Now
Is
I'm trying to feel.
and I'm trying to feel, and I'm also awakening my storyteller adventurer archetypes. And that is the intention and the reason that I'm listening to this now. Okay. We need to be watching fantasy books or reading fantasy books, watching fantasy shows and movies. I know that doesn't sound like it's correlated with one another. What that's doing is it's flexing your imagination, because most of your life you were probably told that your head's in the clouds and that you're weird and like your imagination was really poo-pooed on or thinking differently and all these things.
Yes.
We have to re-strengthen that with our inner children and say, actually, this is the most important thing in our life, because this is where we're headed in our reality of getting paid to do something that we love and helping take people on these wild, fun, enjoyable experiences. But we can't do that if we do not see the value in our imagination.
In ourselves.
Yeah, in ourselves, in our imagination. And okay, if we are already having a difficult time being in our imagination because of those trauma wounds, how much more difficult is it for you to tell somebody about some intangible incarnation stuff?
Right.
These spiritual gifts and all these things, right? So we have to kind of baby step and tiptoe our way up into, you know what? No, this stuff is real. I feel that. And I need some anchor points, and those can be fantasy books.
Okay.
The journeys that I take people on, are they perfect representors of like all of this fantasy stuff over here? No, but it's opened up my imaginative scape so much that I'm like, yeah, I'm going to talk about all this stuff. I'm not going to worry about if it sounds weird or if other people don't understand it. Like the client that I am talking to or the persons in my community on my videos, they
get it.
feel it in their soul.
Yes.
But this fun stuff over here helped me get there.
Yes.
Okay. I listen to, these are some examples of things you can do. Okay. I have gotten into listening to Dungeons and Dragon campaigns where people are like in groups and they're all these different characters and they're going on these journeys and adventures with one another. It's super fun. I'm going to send you some resources. There's also ASMR videos.
Okay.
You ever watch those?
I think so.
Okay.
Where they're pleasurable to the eye or something like that.
Well, there's this whole category. One, you need ASMR videos anyway because your central nervous system out of whack.
Yes.
There is magical ASMR where people are like potion curators and they're wizards and witches and like all of these like fun things that you can listen to.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
We need to be watching. Are you okay on time, by the way?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'm good on time.
Perfect. Okay. We need to be watching things that take you through quests, because that's what you're doing for people when you're doing the work
It's
that
going
I'm
on a
doing.
journey.
We're going on a journey. We're going on a quest. We're trying to find something, just like how I've been doing with you. Like, let's meet in the park and go to the magical animals so you feel good. Okay, now let's do the hummingbird and all this stuff. Okay. So that was like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, Alice in Wonderland. Those are all helping you amplify this gift within yourself. And it's something fun for you and your inner kids to do together. That's a type of continuing education for you.
Okay.
Not sitting here reading a book about, oh, this is how I need to do channeling XYZ and all of this stuff. Yours is more open and exploratory and discovery. It can be fun. It doesn't have to be so technical.
Good.
Okay,
Awesome.
what comes up when I say that?
That's good. No, I like that.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Okay. So
I love Harry Potter too. My
perfect.
husband, so before I got with my husband, he was like, "Oh yeah, Harry Potter," and I was like, "Those books were so big when I was, in elementary school." And he was like, "You never watched the movies?" I was like, "No." He put the first like clip on. I was like, "Okay, give me the whole series."
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, "This is cool for my brain." Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'm gonna send you. I have this document that has like tons of TV shows and movies and like all these different things. So you have like all these different resources to watch. Okay.
Amazing.
Shows and TV. Okay. Resource. So your higher self told me she's been coming at this from a very technical aspect. That's not how our gifts work.
Or logical,
right. Like, that's not how these work. Okay. How are specific. And there are some modalities that are a lot more technical. Like I just wanted to start getting into palm reading. Palm reading is a technical gift, right? Or like astronomy or something like that. Okay. Not this. Okay. This is in fantasy lands. Okay.
Yes.
So this different bird incarnation of you, her name is Sahara, kind of like the Sahara Desert, but Sahara. Yeah, if you want to go in meditation and try and connect with her. That instruction manual, I don't know what is in there. That's for you for later on.
Okay.
Okay, I saw what I needed to see out of it, but it's its own consciousness and its own thing from that incarnation that's supposed to download into your templates during this incarnation. So connecting with Sahara is going to be beneficial. What I would suggest is going on Pinterest and looking at pictures of
hummingbirds.
You could do hummingbirds, but also like goddesses with feather wings, or like blue avians is a type of starseed. It's like a humanoid like bird being. But any pictures of like women with wings. Or like, do you know who Thoth is from Egyptian mythology? He has like a big bird.
I've heard of him. Yes.
Any beings like that is going to help you remember that time in that history. Just looking at pictures. Okay.
Yeah.
Or like, the new Avatar movie that came out and has like the bird people?
Yes.
Things like that.
Okay.
So when I went into a different section of your energy field, I saw this ice skater. It was you, and you were like doing all these tricks and stuff. It was really fun, and you couldn't stop spinning. Like you could not stop. And I was like, "Hey, we need to go do some grounding." Okay, that was the anxiety that was coming up. So I took you into a forest and I laid you down on the ground and I put this like bubble over us and I started to do Reiki on you, and I had crystals on you. And the reason I had the bubble is so that you could smell all these essential oils and this incense, and you were connected to Mother Gaia. I had these roots come out of the ground and like connect into your corns, right? And you just completely like like decompressed. And I said, "How do you feel?" And she said, "I feel like I'm back in my body." So most of your life, I can see where you have not been inside of your body. You have been detached, and we have been here. We're observing ourselves all throughout life. We're not actually in our physical self. That's from trauma.
Yes.
That's from not understanding our neurodivergency. That is not feeling safe and secure around people. This is a safety trauma response. That's
Yes.
why it's going to be so important for you to work on your central nervous system and coming back within, because you can only go up so high in multidimensionality the deeper you are grounded into yourself. What has happened with your gifts? Hold on, what do I write here? Because I need to say it specifically. Your body hasn't felt safe enough to let you disconnect from itself.
I believe that.
When I go on shamanic journeyings or like this channeling for you, I need to feel as though that I am still connected to my physical self and I'm going to come back into my body when that journey is done. I have to feel so safe and secure in that I can completely let go in the astral and etheric fields. Okay. Right now, your body, because of the trauma that you've been through and all those things I mentioned there before,
yep,
it is scared.
Yep. And I've been literally scared, or like in this, I feel like a shell.
Yeah.
Like I just, it is like, no, I've never felt comfortable or seen or validated. It's like, yeah, exactly what you're explaining.
Yes. So you were actually too much up here.
Yep. And not in here.
Yeah. Well, you're too much up here too. Like you're too
yeah.
you're too
in
air.
the body.
Yeah, you're too air, too ethereal, too celestial. You have a lot of earth magic, which we're about to get to, that you have been completely cut off from.
Blocked from.
Like completely cut off from. And that's where you're going to really need to dig in, because you also have like a lot of shamanic abilities as well, just like me. Okay. But I was not able to access those things until I got back in my body, because that has to do with the human 3D plane.
Okay.
There has been a long time where you say, I don't want to be here anymore. I hate this. I'm ready to go. I'm not in my body. Right. We need to get back in there and say, you know what? Actually, I do want to be here. This is going to be a fun experience. I'm gonna have a lot of magic. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be fun. I enjoy being a human. I like helping other human people. I like helping.
I'm getting to that. I literally am getting to that. Instead of feeling like, how fast can I get out of here? It's like, okay, let's do this journey. Let's actually go in here. Let's be here. That what you just said.
The medicine that you are going to provide for people is helping them integrate their multidimensionality into their human experience. Well, you can't do that if you don't want to be here either.
Right.
Because then you're not teaching people what they need to know.
Right.
Okay, we're trying to teach escapism when we need to be teaching integration. Okay.
Yes.
So while I was doing the Reiki on you here, I asked you to sit up, and you sat up, and I said, and I put my hands over your head. And when I did that, all of this, let's call it distortion energy, started falling away. And then your elf ears came up. And I said, did you know that you're an elf? And you're like, no, I didn't. And I said, yeah, look. And I held up a mirror, and you could see yourself, and you had these giant elf ears, like a woodland elf. Right? I said, that's your earth magic coming online right now. That's your shamanic abilities coming online right now. It's because you took a breath and you ground into Mother Gaia. I said, what you're going to be helping people with is exactly this, taking all these flighty people that are trying to escape, okay, and helping them come back to themselves and being like, oh no, I can be a sovereign being here and still experience magic and have a good time and learn lessons and grow and evolve and help the community and the collective. And like, it doesn't have to be this scary story that I have been living.
Right.
And that's an earth magic. Okay. So then let's see what up to here. Okay. So we need to be doing things for our physical body, like our actual physical body. Okay. Like yoga, stretching, salt baths, going to get massages, doing qigong, going on nature walks, not being up here, like actually interacting with nature and like paying attention, not like all up in our thoughts. Like actually grounded in there. Playing with sensory toys.
Yes.
You know that you're neurodivergent, so that helps get some of that extra energy out. Okay. Smelling
Yes.
incense and having Palo Santo around, essential oils, like sprays. Like I have Florida water all the time. I'm constantly spraying them myself instead of
Yes.
perfume. I have
Yes.
these like witchy tinctures that are like Palo Santo and all these herbs and things. It's very grounding.
Yes.
It smells like tree bark. Okay.
Yes.
We
I
need to
got
be
some
putting our hands.
sandalwood.
Yes, we need to be putting our hands on plants. We need to be putting our hands
Yes.
in dirt. We need
See,
to
I'm outside. So see, I'm
yes.
trying to I was
Mhm.
like, I know every person, every medium is always about my grounding. And I was like, well, let me try something different and go outside
Yes.
and ground while we have a session.
We need when we start feeling very outside of ourselves, how we have felt
Yes.
most of our life, we got to come back into ourselves. Because when you are giving sessions to people, it's very easy, especially when you're talking to another like flighty, and I mean that in the best sense because
Yes.
I am also
Yes.
sometimes a very flighty person because I
Yes.
have fairy energy just like you have elf energy. Okay.
Yes.
I have to really work on staying inside of myself in my body and staying grounded when I'm talking to people. Otherwise, language kind of starts going out and like I'm not able to grab onto my thoughts or direct the session
Yes.
properly. We got to get centered. Okay. So we need to be doing more things for our physical.
Yes. Okay.
What you need to focus on in these next chapters is not necessarily more trauma work.
Okay.
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 Central nervous system.
Okay.
Being in our body.
Yeah.
Learning about how trauma wounds affect people, not you. Okay.
Mhm.
Because when you're watching
Okay.
these videos, what your higher self doesn't want you to be like,
Other
oh,
people.
I have
Other
all of
people.
this stuff I need to work. Teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't get wrapped up in that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Some things that we can do to connect to our elf energy,
Mhm.
looking at pictures of elves, not necessarily
Okay.
Christmas elves, but like woodland
Okay.
elves. Okay. There's
Okay.
lots of meditations, just like fairy meditations, elf meditations. Fairies
Mhm.
and elves are very different, but if you
Okay.
listen to fairy stuff, it's all kind of fae. So
Okay.
it'll help you connect with that, right?
Mhm.
We need to be working on our Earth Star chakra.
Okay.
Okay, that is located a foot under our feet and connects you to the heart of Mother Gaia and connects you to trees and plants and your soul mission here on Earth. Why you are here. Okay, so I'm going to send you some meditations for that as well.
Thank
Reiki, Earth Reiki, Celtic
Okay.
Reiki, Oceanic Reiki, things that have to do with the elements is going to
Okay.
help get in your body and also calm your central nervous system. So it's
Okay.
going to be good for your gifts, but then also for you as well.
Awesome.
Okay. I'm going to send you videos on clairsentience, clairtangency. I'm going to send you videos on channelers for you to listen
Okay.
to them talk about what it means to be a channeler, because that will help you
Mhm.
pick up new tools and resources. And you'll see, oh, it's not just this one way.
Yes.
There's lots of ways to do this. Okay. Reading
Yes.
mythological stories.
Yes.
Okay. Flexing that imagination muscle. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Figuring out what exactly do I want to be helping people with? I think you already have a really good concept of that. But if I was going to go into a session, what would I be
Mhm.
helping people with? Because you can already be doing that.
Mhm.
You could already be practicing on people.
Yes.
I have academy students,
Mhm.
already energy healers, practitioners.
Mhm.
They would love for you to practice on them if you ever want partners. And it's easier to do
Okay.
it on energy healers than like normal 3D persons. They're
Right.
also easier to read.
Yes.
Okay. Once you do some discovery about, okay, this is what I want to help people with.
Okay.
Okay. Questions about the things that we talked about?
Was the hummingbird a part of me, or was it just an example to get you to the? So I guess was the a bird person, or was it the hummingbird? I guess
The
I was trying
hummingbird was more of a representator, like a
to
symbol,
get you to where you were going.
but it also, there was a message in the hummingbird in and of itself
Mhm.
of small but mighty.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And it's a representator of the way that your energy field is, but
Okay.
it was to get me to this avian being over here. But they both have their messages in and of themselves, right? They're both
Okay.
important
Yes.
key pieces to it.
Okay. Awesome.
These are the type of journeys that you will be helping other people. Oh, shamanic journey. I need to send you some resources. Too. Okay.
Shamanic.
What was your other question?
And with all this that you can see, will I ever be able to read the Akashic records?
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because I was like,
I think that you already can do that.
Really?
Okay, a lot of times people are overthinking the Akashic records. Okay.
Right.
A lot of people are already connected to that. It's just what depth level will you be able to get to? Inner child healing is a form of Akasha work because it really has to do with accessing different timelines and different depths within people and different layers and dimensions within them. There's the Akashic record is like this big umbrella. Like house, there's a lot of different things. It's just doing a lot deeper soul work with self and others, more expansatory, more exploratory, right? And helping people connect to like these facets outside of just being a human, even though we love being a human. Okay. Also connecting deeper into that. When you are talking to people in conversations and you can see all of their behavioral patterns and how things are correlated and connected with one another and backtrack it to childhood and then be speaking to their inner children within them, that's a form of Akasha work. Okay. Wow. Just as much as talking about somebody being a phoenix in a past life. Okay.
Right.
It's just this big umbrella. It's I'm ready to take my healing abilities to deeper depths.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, with the seeing and the feeling, like feeling the Akashic records or whatever. I just didn't know how that was going to come across of like, when you feel something, does it just come into your field, I guess?
Like when I'm talking to other people?
Yeah, like when you're reading someone's Akashic field, like, how does that come up for you, I guess, to better understand?
Well, it also depends on what the intentions are and what I'm trying to find. Okay, so that's really beneficial as well. It's like, hey, like having kind of like a guide. Now, do you have to have that? No, sometimes people are like, I want to leave my session completely open and whatever comes through, comes through. So I'll just go in and say, hey, what do you got for me? Okay? And then other times, if I'm seeking on a quest for specific things, I will go into somebody's field. Okay, just vision that I'm in their energy and close my eyes and I'll say, hey, just kind of like a declarative statement. My name is Sage. These are the reasons that I'm here. If any inner children, different incarnations, spirit guides, spirit animals want to come forward, I would appreciate you coming to have a conversation with me. And if I feel anxiety start to come up because of people's walls or defenses or their trauma wounds or, whacked out central nervous system, I'll say, okay, are you an inner child or are you an adult version of them? What do we have going on here? Okay. And then I can feel, is this a youthful energy or is this, I'm talking to an adult? And then I say, hey, where would you like to meet? Where do you feel safe? Where do you feel secure? You want to meet at a park? You want to meet in the mountains? You want to go to the beach? You want to go to wherever? I'll pose some things or their higher self will tell me, why don't you take them here? Okay. And I feel into
where
that.
they're going.
I feel, and sometimes I'm the one creating it. Okay. But I'll feel, oh, we're in a beautiful field right now. There's like sunny. It feels sunny. It feels like the breeze is blowing. It feels like I'm touching grass. It feels like the grounded trees are here with us. And then that person's consciousness is more apt to come forward. And then you can start having a dialogue and a conversation with them. But you got to get their central nervous system relax,
to calm down,
right? You got to get them to relax. You got to feel them safe and secure. You need to explain to them, this is who I am. This is why I'm here. Your human called me.
Yes.
Sometimes I show them a scroll or a script and be like, look, we contracted to okay. And then instead of just jumping into trauma, I'm like, let's talk about how you're feeling. What's going on? Just having kind of like a conversation, just like when I met you, right? Kind of easing into it. Okay. And then other times I don't have to go through that whole rigmarole. I'll just blip right into a different incarnation. Like we're ready to go. It depends on what the intention is, what you're trying to find. Is it trauma wounds? Is it spiritual gifts? Is it karmic lessons? Every journey is very different. But if you're connected to an inner child or an adult, oftentimes like, let's meet at a home base and start there. Just like I did with you at the park.
Yes.
Like, girl, where you want to go? I want to go somewhere with mythological creatures. I said, I got you. And then we went on that journey together.
Yes.
But it's me. I don't see images.
Okay. Okay.
It's feelings all the way through. I felt what it was like to be a hummingbird.
Awesome.
And then I snapped out of the hummingbird and I'm myself again, and I'm feeling like I'm looking at a hummingbird, but it's not actually seeing the hummingbird. I'm feeling my way through the entire experience.
Wow. Yeah, no one really explains the feeling part of it. You know, it's like you get the clairvoyance, oh, I'm seeing this and this. It's like no one really talks about what the body's doing or how those feelings are coming up. So that's really helpful.
That's also why you need to really work on your relationship with your physical body, because it's the indicator. Like when I'm huffing and puffing and trying to find, like, go after your hummingbird, right? I have to take a breath and say, okay, what does it feel like I need to do here? Oh, it feels like I need to turn into a bird too. Like it's all feeling and emotion based. But if you are super overstimulated and stressed and in panic or fight or flight, you're not able to hear what your body is trying to tell you or what other people, because not only am I reading my physical body, I'm having to read your physical body too.
Yes.
And that's where central nervous system comes in, because I'm like, girl, I need you to be calm so I can read what's going on within you. And I
it's
got
that hot bubble in water.
Yeah, we both need to be chill. And so that's why it's going to be so important for you to focus on that, because that goes in tandem with your abilities of being clairsentient, and then also being able to go on these like really expansatory journeys for people. Now, are all sessions like this I do? No. Some people are not at these depth levels yet, and I'm just talking to you about some human stuff you got going on, because you're not there yet.
Yes.
You stress about your
you
boyfriend.
go with where they're at.
Yeah, you stress about your boyfriend. You got stuff going on at your job. All that stuff is creating so much anxiety. You don't have space for the multidimensional stuff right now. And that's okay too. Those sessions are just as valid, because those inner children within them are locked in a prison within them. It is more important to get those inner children out of that prison than talking about all this other stuff over here yet.
Yes.
Okay, because that stuff's not going to connect anyway.
Right.
So they don't even believe in themselves yet enough to like fathom doing this stuff.
What's going on over
Let's
there?
help you feel safe, secure, empowered, loved, magical, special, the human stuff first. And then let's get over here. Those are just as valid. It doesn't always have to be this shamanic journeying.
The quantum thing. Yes.
Yeah. And it depends on, some people only do the multidimensional quantum stuff. Like that's where they meet people. I personally have a very
do the foundation part
for liberating people's inner children wholly and permanently.
Me too.
So I do both type of sessions. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, I think that's great. It sounds like you do. That's why I'm saying that. Like it's going to vary with your sessions.
Yes. And do you see me being successful like in healings?
You're going to be great at it. You're going to be doing exactly what I'm doing. You're going to be fantastic. It's going to be your own flavor and magic, and it's going to be, you are meant to be helping people's inner children, not just with the human stuff that they got going on, but let me help you really excel in this lifetime.
Yes.
Okay, because you know, we already got the new earth paradigm. It's already here. You and I are already experiencing it. Okay, but there's so many people that are not. And so you're like, let me help scoot you on over here. Okay.
Exactly.
All these lost inner children that are so stuck and trapped in the 3D matrix and paradigm. That's what you're here for. It's like, how about we come over here to Fantasyland? Okay, everything's magical and fun. Yeah, just let me liberate you. But that's also why you feel called to be an inner child here, because you and that's why
I had to go through it myself too.
Yes. Well, that is why you are already an Akashic healer, okay? Because you can see the root issue. Yes. And you are drawn to help the root issue. That's deeper soul work, right? So yeah, Why would you think that you would not be successful? Why are you even asking me that? Now that's dependent on you. If you just one day say, wake up and you say, I want to be a firefighter and you don't want to do all this stuff, you would still be an energy healer and you still be helping people with their inner children and their magic and their multidimensionality. If you want to be a wildly successful spiritual mentor, coach, healer, that's up to you on how much action steps you take. Yes. And how dedicated you are to it. But if you stay that path, of course you're going to be successful at it. Look at what you've done in your own life. This is where your higher self is saying that you're misstepping right now. Okay. It's like, oh, am I going to be successful? Look at your life. Look at your own life. Why would that not apply to anything that you were going to do?
Yeah. I do feel like I'm going to be successful. Like yesterday when I was doing that first Reiki, I did it on my husband's mom. And the whole time I just had this confidence and I was like, what is this? Like having a confidence about myself that I'm really like, I do believe I can do this. Like I really had the confidence and I was really proud of myself. And I was like, I'm really going to take this with me and I'm not going to doubt myself. Even though I'm a beginner at it, you know? And I felt the power. I felt the confidence. And it's like, I've had it the whole time, but I was scared of it, I guess.
What we need to stop saying is I'm a beginner.
I am not a beginner.
Okay, because you know that you've had, I mean, you can feel it in your soul that you've had multitudes of incarnations as a healer. If you say I'm a beginner, then you're setting yourself back so far.
I don't feel like a beginner, but I felt like saying like to everybody else, like I just started this, but to me, like I feel like I've had it the whole time. I do feel like it's been
why do you think you're drawn to these things? Why do you like why did you book this session? Why are you like, how do I do this? How do I get into this? Right? Like it's already inside of you. Not everybody wants to be a healer. Everybody can be a healer, not everybody wants to. Some people want to be a lawyer. Okay. I mean, those are healing in and of itself for some things, you know what I mean? But you're like, no, this is what I'm going to do. This is my path and this is an incarnation. Well, it's because you also have this plethora of experience back here, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're not a beginner.
We're not a beginner.
We are re-remembering. We are re-remembering. We are reactivating. We are rediscovering. Okay. What is already inside? We are honoring that we have been a healer in multitudes of incarnations, and we are opening ourselves up to those lines of communication and connectivity.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening.
Yes.
I'm just opening up myself to more and more and more.
Yes. Okay. We also need to stop saying, I am going to be successful.
I am successful. I already am successful.
Look at your life. You already healed your life.
Yes.
There's already proof in the pudding. There's proof in the pudding. We've already done it.
We have.
There's never going to be a time where you're like, okay, this is it. I reached this pinnacle level. Like I'm
always evolving,
growing and evolving and healing and unlocking things and doing more trauma and all this different stuff. Like it's forever. So we need to just say, I'm successful where I'm at right now.
Yes.
That gives us a lot more confidence and empowerment. Do you see how all of these shifts need to be done in you? Because if you don't see and believe that within you,
others can't.
You can't do that for others. Because they feel the shakiness in you. They feel the anxiety. They feel the mistrust in self. They feel that you're not centered and grounded. So it's not going to be as effective. Will it be effective? Yes, because you're positive and happy and you've done all this stuff. But it can be so much more effective if you really claim this stuff within yourself, because now we're exuding like, I did it, you can do it too.
Yes. Come with me, do it with me.
Yes. Okay. Look at my life. I am successful. I am an energy healer, right? You can go ahead and start calling yourself that. I'm an Akashic record reader. I'm a healer. Like whatever you want to say, that's you already.
Okay. Yay.
Okay. Okay. What was your biggest takeaway today?
Oh, there's so many. Really just connecting with the clairsentience, because I've been told that time and time again, but it's like I'm so focused on like if there's a block there, on fixing that block than just working on what I've already got. You know, like just knowing that I've already got stuff to be working on instead of going pretty much like out of my field trying to pluck and pull on something that I've already got something else that has a foundation that I can get avenues and information that way too, and just empowering me. And that is a powerful one. And the clairtangency, like believing that like I have a lot of stuff coming out of my hands, great things, huge, and I can do it.
You can do it. You are doing it.
I'm doing it.
Okay. Yes. There's something else your higher self wanted me to mention before we close up. So let me see what she was saying here. Hold on.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to tell you something that I wish I had known earlier in my journey. It is way more difficult to read yourself than other people because we are so in our own situation and there's biases and all these different things. That's why I mentioned like, hey, stepping up into the higher self and talking back to yourself in the present, you're technically becoming another person to speak to you. Okay. There is only so far you can get as an energy healer without practicing on other people.
So
because
doing
that's where
it.
your
Do
gifts,
it.
that's where your gifts, you're like, oh shit, I'm really powerful and I can do some really amazing things, but I couldn't see that before because I was just trying to do it on myself. And there's biases and filter lenses and distortions and imposter syndrome. But when I'm actually in it with other people, it's like, oh, dang. I tried to give myself so many Akashic record readings when I first started, and it was like, I can't get anything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I started doing it with other people. I'm like, oh my God, I should have been doing this like years ago.
Right.
And I can do so much more in somebody else's field than my own.
Yes.
I have to go
I've
see
heard
energy
that.
healers too. I have to go see energy healers to work through things.
Well, just like mediumship, like their own people don't come through. They get
Exactly.
other people. Yeah, like they have to go to somebody else too.
So there has to
Wow.
be a day, and you've already started doing your Reiki,
Yes.
right? But there has to be a
Yes.
day when we start trying to do journeys for others and we start like tangibly helping them work through their inner child, stuff like that type of healing that you want to get into. There has to be a day where you say, I am ready right now. I am successful. I am an energy healer. I know what I'm doing. I have experience. I'm connected to my different incarnations who also know what they're doing, and they will give me what I need while I'm in a session as well. And I also have the other person's higher self and their guide team and their inner children to help lead me. It's not just me.
Yes.
Let's jump in so I can showcase my talents and prove to myself that I can do this.
Yes.
Okay.
And you saying that brought me back to when I first started taking the metaphysical classes. I did a trance healing class where it's like Reiki, but you just use spirit guides energy to help heal. So it wasn't Reiki, but it was energy healing. And this lady, so that was my practice. So I'd never done anything energy related. I had 3 clients. One of the clients, she came back to my follow-up. And after I did the healing on her, you know, like I'm not thinking I'm doing much, right? But my teacher is telling me I am. And she comes back that next week and she was like, I have to tell you, something that has never happened in my life happened after you touched me and did that trance healing. She was like, I got to see my spirit guide and my deceased sister, and I've never been able to. And I was like, me, you know, I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe that that was something that I could have done for somebody, you know? And so you telling me right there, I was like, that was my validation right then and there, not knowing. And then that was it.
Yeah, you just gotta jump in sometimes and just show yourself like, oh, I can do this. Also, the reason your higher
100%.
self is saying, hey, we really need to get a good relationship with our emotions, which you have like a good relationship now, but the more that you curate that, the reason that you are going to be such a powerful energy healer and why empaths and light workers are generally is because intentions plus emotions, that's where the magic happens. Like you can really do some fundamentally life-changing work with people when we lean into our blessing that has been seen as a curse for a really long time about being hypersensitive and all these different things. You take an intention of like, I'm going to heal this within you, and I'm going to back it with these like really intensive emotions of like, I love you, I care for you, I want you to feel special, safe, and secure. it really does change people's lives. It's just one meeting with you.
Yes.
You just moved all that energy out of her body and cleared those blocks so that she could see with more clarity, right? That's your intentions and your emotions, and her intentions and her emotions merging, just like you and me in this session.
Yes.
And now we have all this clarity and openness and expansiveness and confidence and all these different things. We don't have to be this overcomplicated thing.
Yes.
Okay.
That I like to try to do.
Yeah. It's supposed to be fun and exploratory and imaginative and fantasy and magic and symbols and narratives and all these different things. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. All the other stuff is difficult. I don't want to say difficult, but human life, right? You're like, oh, taxes, so all these different things. Energy healing's easy.
I love it.
Yeah, that's easy, right? Allow it to be easy, though.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Amazing.
Yay.
I'm empowered and inspired and all the things.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yes. So happens.
I am going to send you your oracle cards, your crystal grid. I'll send you the replay. It's going to take me a little bit to get all those resources together. So it'll probably be tomorrow when I send everything to you, but it's going to be this big old, it's going to be a lot of videos. Yeah, if you don't like somebody that I send you, don't listen to it. Okay. Just kick off videos. Okay. Kick off people that you can start studying and get into. Okay.
Yes. Any help that you want to throw my way, of course.
There's gonna be a lot of videos.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And if you have any more questions, just let me know, or if you need anything else in the future.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sage. This was amazing. I loved it so much. You're so magical, and I am magical too.
You are. You are. It was a pleasure meeting you. I love your energy. It was an honor to read for you, especially as somebody that has very similar magic. Okay. So it's very easy. Like, hey, girl, like that's all you need to do. Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, you have a magical day. Okay.
You too. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Bye.